It's like the sound.
That took a minute. So if you have camo and it has an update, don't do it right before you're gonna film something.
Yes,
Soundtrack, read it, they got that song.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a well-known Mexican folk tale, and there's a song. Like,
Don't do that right.
It is on the plaintiff's
Yes.
Well,
I
if you
did.
Google, yeah.
That was the issue in the tissue.
Yeah.
It'll come up, it's been, I mean, it's.
Okay.
So we are getting ready to do combo number 4,
Oh,
which is blocking. That's what we're gonna call it. No, it's the dance of the air, sky, animals. Okay, so as per KK, I'm going to share my music. And no, we are not using words. We are only using movement and music and magic for this one. Woohoo, woohoo. Okay, so for those of you who didn't hear, the reason it took me so long is because it said to do an update on camo, so I did. Don't do that before you film something. Oh my God, I had to turn off my computer. I had to do this, I had to do that. I was like, okay, it takes a moment. All right. I don't think DDR knows that I put this music. It's really good. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. What's the first thing we're gonna do? Is get in a line. You're not in a line. Just to let you know. Birds need to be in a line.
Space for you.
Yeah. Okay. So it all starts in a line. There you go. And I'm coming back in just a second.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what did you just say?
So Emily made a comment that it felt very tribal, very ancestral. I love that. And so I replied with something that we had talked about early yesterday, which is that the ritual contains the magic, right? So of course you feel like that ancient connection because it's built in, right? It resonates over centuries, over generations with what we've done here. Right? It's one reason why
Well, it existed before the human race existed. Honestly,
that energy, right?
I mean, when the birds were flying in the sky, when people were following one another, when monkeys were, leaping in the woods, before we were ever here, it existed. In the flow of the trees and how they entrain with the wind. I mean, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I love the way everybody came back together. Right?
Yes.
It was exquisite.
Now, one of the things that I will say, that song, by the way, is by E.S. Posthumus. Don't worry, I'll give you the name, the music. It's Nara. It came to me from Journey Dance many years ago, and I used it when we did the music movement magic for the first time that we did that, the first music exploration yesterday. It has so much expansive energy and then contract and then expand and contract like a flock of birds. One of the beautiful things about knowing your music is knowing when that magic happens. Now, he had never heard it, and he was my leader, right? Even though we were both leading, he was the leader that I was in training with. So I wanted to say, wait, hold on, do another one, right? And then,
I can hear it.
right?
I can
Okay.
hear it.
Yeah, so when you know the music, then you can use those opportunities to play with people, and they go,
So there's one something that I want to remind everybody of. So all throughout this weekend, Adele has been leading these break states having to do with the language of music. Right, so we keep it fairly simple, fairly basic. We got rhythm, right? Then we have melody, and then we have harmony that weaves in around it. And this is the basic vocabulary, basic building blocks of music. Right? And a lot of the music that we're playing, we could get quite extravagant, but this is fairly simple musical compositions that if you listen to it, you can always anticipate what's going to happen next. There's usually like 4 or 8 bars, and then you know that there's going to be another movement involved there. So how many repetitions am I doing? I'm kind of counting, I'm kind of waiting, I'm kind of listening all together, and I can just like, something's going to happen, something's going to break right here, right? The composer of this music, they know, they are aware of the tradition of music. They have this language of music. That's my point here. And in that language of music, it's like, this is the moment to add, to break free, and then I'm going to build on that. And then this is the moment to so you can anticipate that when you're leading your class. You don't.
And oftentimes it is, even though it may be the same, it is what would be like the end of the song, an outro. There's instruments that are dropping off to create that silence that I talked about, where you're listening for the sounds to come back in, and then all of a sudden, ooh, it happens, and the sounds come in, layer on top. But it's really a sensation. The more that we listen to music, the more we become intimate with that sensation of that expansion or that magic that the composer wants us to feel, whether we're sitting still or
Right.
or in our world, we're moving.
They have that intention. So the
Yeah.
musician, the composer sits down with his intention that he's going to take the listener on a particular kind of journey. And so everything that's in the song that you're listening to is deliberate. Right? And if you trust the composer, like I know within 10 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, when I listen to a piece of music, this is how I choose music for my playlist. You ask me all the time, like, how do you make your playlist? I just start listening to music in the first 3 seconds. I know whether it's gonna work or not, right? And then if it works, then I have some trust, I have some faith in the composer. I'm like, they're not gonna let me down. I'm gonna follow this story that they're telling me, because I know they got it. Right? There's a lot of shitty music out there. I just start listening to it. I'm like, you're just lazy, man. Right?
Yeah.
So,
True.
but when you can find a piece of music and you know that the musician is like, they put a little bit of skin in the game with this piece of music, then you can just have some faith in it, follow it.
So I propose, and you all tell me whether you're up for this or not. Before we move to the fifth combo, which surprise, surprise, you already know it. Before we move to the fifth and final combo, do you want to do this one again? And the reason I ask is that after we present the fifth and final combo, then which is not gonna take long. Then we're going to film all 5 combinations. Do you want to do this one again? I don't care. I'm good. I'm good.
I think I'm okay. I don't know about last time. I don't know if we can top it.
You can. I guarantee you can. I guarantee you can.
That was like, for the second time, I was like, came back after we were done, and I was like, wow, we actually did that really,
Really,
So
really well,
this
right?
is about, we get best at what we practice most. It's about repetition, and that helps the brain to then remember so you can let go. I'm not trying to talk to them in or out.
Well, this is also-
I'll do it again.
This is also the magic of, what you sometimes don't get when you're watching the online when we're doing it.
Right.
Like, what's so powerful about doing
Doing it together.
doing it in person
Right.
seminar through the course of the weekend. That we have a cumulative rhythmic entrainment going on. We get to the end, it's like everybody's like, we always go, oh my God, how did this so fun? So together it's like, well, duh. You know?
So maybe I shouldn't have presented it as a question, but let's do it
Let's do
again.
it. Couldn't hurt.
Nope, not at all. Cause it feels so good. Mm-mm. All right. Same song, second verse.
Make a slight alteration to our setup here, that the lines are not exactly.
That they're
around each
zigzag.
other, that they're just like a little bit of an offset. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of room.
Little bit of an offset, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big, right?
No, not big.
Like this much, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know if she's going forward or back. Gotcha.
And DDR, just to let you know, there was a 1.5 minutes left to a 5-minute.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
just to, ballpark it, whatever. So we are shooting for 5 minutes songs. Doesn't mean you have to use them, but this is a 5 minutes.
And if you want to extend, like.
Right.
if You've got a piece of music, you've got 3.5 minutes and you wanna let me draw it out to 5, you can do this final piece more than once.
Mhm.
right?
Or come back to the line and just, I remember you and I had this conversation, we could just clap hands all day long, right? Right?
First, be able to breathe and wasn't that cool and everything else? Way cool. It was way cool. All right. So.
Like, you compare that to what we were like 2 routines ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just a hot mess and now we're like super cool. We're really cool.
Oh,
We're
like,
great.
we like learned how to in our nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I think reading a book about moss and we were being moss to each other.
Yeah.
Here's a little technical something, just you know how I said that in this crossing, I said a little trick is to apply that pressure. So on the reverse step of the eagle, right, I said this is a skating step, put a little pressure into the sweeping toe. Right, so here I am at the end of this, and I'm gonna step down, and I'm going to actually not put all of my weight here. I'm gonna leave a little bit on that toe to sweep around. Right?
And
then
I didn't do that.
Sweep around.
And I wiggle, hoo, hoo, almost fell, and that's okay, again, just like I fell out of this, and the reason I did, I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna burst out crying, and so then, when I tend to wanna cry, I start laughing, so then I started laughing, and looked at you, it's like, oh my God, I'm literally just gonna burst out laughing, because I really wanna cry, I mean, that was the
It's really
situation.
emotional,
It was very emotional, and then I fell out of it. Why? Because I lost my focus. It was stolen from, me for a second, but that was okay.
So can you feel that? There's a little sort of a speed bump that you go over here, so I'm sweeping it around, gets lighter right about here, and then it gets heavy in that back foot here. Right, sweep, and then stable,
And also, it can be much smaller
Yeah.
movements.
can be slower.
Okay, much smaller movement. Watch me, I'm just barely doing a circle, but I'm keeping my balance. right? Yeah.
So there's a sweep. And then a step.
So
Or
step
the
only on the
second
very
sweep.
first, right, so when you're in this, position here, now I've got to transfer weight, right? So I've got to put weight into this foot, and that's like a little step. Sweep. Step down on it, sweep. Step down.
What are the eagle's claws again? I want to show the camera.
So just the index finger, middle finger, and thumb.
Because I didn't have it right. I was doing all the claws.
Yeah, I was doing.
Claw hands, that's all we know.
That's right.
So there are some styles of kung fu that are similar to that. So you would say the dragon has 4 fingers, the eagle has 3 fingers, and the tiger has 5 fingers.
That's why we go. And just to bring that back up, let's do that. Okay, so imagine we came out of the leopard and we come into the tiger. What are we gonna do? We're
Lay in
gonna
the grass.
scrape the grass, right? Bring it up and then. Sorry, I love this. I love this work. Oh my God, is it so cool?
Yeah.
I told you.
So.
She wouldn't even give me. No.
What
What was gonna happen? I bet.
She really wanted to know. She really wanted to know. I just gave her the schedule. What to do.
Of course you asked it, did you?
She's like, no.
I'm terrible.
No.
I'm terrible, but I didn't. All right. So,
Emily.
Emily, okay, I'm gonna push stop and then go so that I have another sequence. So we talk about the fifth.
Okay.
The fifth and final, okay. So, stop, go.